Good afternoon, students. Today we'll continue with the lesson number 4, that is Kingdom Animalia. Last class, if you remember, we have completed with the non-chordates or invertebrata, porifera, cnidaria, all these up to hemichordata. We had completed the lecture, the portion. Okay. Now today we will continue from chordata. In chordata, you see again they are classified into two types: protochordata and vertebrata. Protochordata is further classified into urochordata and cephalochordata. See, the examples are given here: Herdmania, Salpa, Doliolum, and here Amphioxus. Okay. Now here this is about the protochordata. Then first we will complete this, right? Then we will start with vertebrata. Again, they are classified into two, that is agnatha or agnathostomata and gnathostomata. Clear? And agnatha, only one living organism is that is cyclostomata. Example, petromyzon or myxin, right? Then gnathostomata, Pisces and tetrapod. Pisces further classified into chondrostes and ostestes. The examples are given over here. We'll be seeing later on also. And tetrapoda, there are 4 different classes. One is class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Aves, that is all birds are included in this, and then class Mammalia, which includes even human. Clear? So now let's start one by one. Now here, first of all, see, we have studied about the non-chordates, isn't it? And now we are going to study about the chordate. So let's understand the difference between the two, chordates, non-chordates. Now here, the presence or absence of notochord, they are classified broadly as chordates and non-chordates. Then central nervous system is dorsal, hollow, and single in case of chordates, whereas it is ventral. Here it is dorsal, but here in non-chordates it is ventral, solid, and double. Okay, see here the difference. It is dorsal, the central nervous system is dorsal. Here it is ventral. Then it is hollow. That is empty from cavities there inside. Okay, it is hollow, whereas it is solid, it is compactly packed. And here it is single and this is double. Next one is pharynx perforated by gill slits, whereas here gill slits itself are absent. Then heart is ventral in position, here dorsal in position. Student, by this you should understand when we are studying about the differences. Okay, obviously when here if it is present, in the next one it will be absent, because we are studying the differences. When we study the comparative study or similarities, then we have to be alert to see that whether it is present in both or it is present only in one. Clear? So here the heart is ventral in position. Obviously here it will be dorsal in position, or lateral it can be. If it is present, it may be dorsal or lateral. Clear? Then a postanal part, that is tail, is present, and tail if present is preanal part. Here it is postanal and here it is preanal. So these are the some important points of differences between the chordates and the non-chordates. Next you see, now this is the basis for comparison. Okay, so comparative study we are doing over here. You can see again the two columns are there, chordates and non-chordates, right? We are going to compare between these two. And what are the points for comparison, student? The bases are respiration, body temperature, presence or absence of notochord, hemoglobin, that is whether the pigment is present or not, red pigment, then nervous system. It continues further as what type of body symmetry it has, metamerism is there or not, that postanal tail is there or not, organization what it is, whether it is organ system organization or protoplasmic grade hai. Then germ layers, whether it is double layered, that is diploblastic, or triple layer, that is triploblastic. Then whether the coelom is present or not, right? And again the notochord is present or absent. So these are the different points of comparison that we will be studying. I have given you in a chart form. Please go through it very carefully. Next, now here the overall view is given of between the chordates and the non-chordates. Okay, so chordates are organisms with a distinct notochord that developed into the vertebral column, whereas in non-chordates are organisms that do not have a notochord and therefore a vertebral column. So no notochord. Here notochord is developing into vertebral column, whereas here no notochord, so no question of vertebral column. Understood? Similarly here it has a notochord, it does not have a notochord. Then single dorsal hollow nerve cord is present. Here double ventral solid. All the points are repeated, but this is a comparative. Both, it is a mixture of both, that is the difference and the comparative studies or the similarities. Clear? Now here the presence and absence of post-anal tail, then pharyngeal gill slits are there or not, then respiratory pigments are there. What is the respiratory pigment, student? Which is that? Hemoglobin, right? Then excretory organs, how it is present. Kidneys are the main excretory organs, where here variety types of organs are present for excretion. So overall view of between chordates and the non-chordates. So it is mentioned chordates versus non-chordates. Okay. Next, you see, now this is what I told you first also, that this is the chart which we are going to complete today. Yeah, one by one we will go stepwise. We will be going. Already I have discussed about this chart in the first slide. Next, we'll start with the first part, that is the subphylum Urochordata. It is also known as tunicata because its body is covered by tunic. Okay, it is known as tunicine. See here, or cellulose. It is also known as ascidian. It is exclusively marine, commonly known as sea squids. Most are solitary, but some are colonial. They may be fixed or they may be free swimming. Then the body is covered by cuticular tunic or test. Now this test means it will be either gelatinous, it may be transparent, it may be translucent, or it may be leathery in adult stage. Clear? Then Urochordata, it includes those animals which have notochord in the tail of larval stage. That means notochord is present only in the tail of the larval stage, and it is absent in the adults, right? Then the body is unsegmented, that coelom is absent, that means it is acoelomate. Then ciliary mode of feeding is there, that means the feeding takes place with the help of ciliars, right? Then gills are present in pharyngeal wall, heart is ventral, open type of circulatory system. What is this open? There are two types of circulatory system, students, open type and closed type. In open type, the blood is directly pumped into the body cavities. Okay, whereas in closed type, the blood is pumped in the proper channels, through the proper channels, that is the blood vessels. Clear? So that is open type and closed type. Then single dorsal ganglion in adult represent nervous system, excretion by nephrocytes. Nephrocytes, sites indicates for the cells, nephro for the excretory products. Okay, the cells, special type of cells known as nephrocytes. Then reproduction. There is reproduction, asexual reproduction takes place by budding. Then bisexual animal and cross fertilization occurs. Then fertilization is external, right? Examples given are Herdmania, Salpa, and Doliola. See here, you can see this. Herdmania, this is Doliolum, and this is Acida. Clear? Next, Cephalochordata. What are cephalochordata? These are small fish-like animals which show chordate characters. The notochord extends the entire length of the body. Students, in Urochordata, what we saw, that the notochord is present or it extends only in the tail part of the larval stage. Okay, but here it is extending throughout the length of the body. They show a dorsal tubular neural tube without a definite brain. Then they have head and tail. Appendages are absent. Dorsal, caudal, and ventral fins are present. Exoskeleton is absent. Alimentary canal is long and includes large pharynx with many gill slits. Ciliary mode of feeding, same as in case of Urochordata. Then gills performs respiration. Then there it was open type of circulatory system. Students, here it is closed type of circulatory system. And I've told you what is open type and what is closed type. Then respiratory pigments are absent. Hepatic indicates for liver. Okay, hepatic portal system is present. Then excretory system shows paired protonephridia with solenocytes. And what are these solenocytes? These are flagellated cells which are associated with excretion. There we have seen nephrocytes were present, isn't it? Now here we find that in Cephalochordata, the excretory system has paired protonephridia with solenocytes. Sites indicates for the cells. Okay, these are flagellated cells. Next, cerebral, two pairs of cerebral and several, that means many pairs of spinal nerves are present. Then myotomes are seen, that is more, muscle blocks are seen. They are found present in the body. Then post-anal tail is present. So these are the general characteristics of this Subphylum Cephalochordata. Then in this, sexes are separate and fertilization is external. Yeah. Examples, branchiostoma, example that is amphioxus or lanceolate. See here, like this they look. Amphioxus or lanceolate structure. You can see here the notochord is from full length of the body. Starts from here. See this brown color line you can see. I'm showing you through this arrow here. See up to the end it is present. Okay. This is the amphioxus. Example for cephalochordata. Next. Now next part is the vertebrata. Now in vertebrata, general information that in these notochord is replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column. So this notochord will be, now it is getting modified. Okay. Now here you see it may be cartilaginous or it may be bony. Then all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. You can get this for give reason students. See, I have given you the reason in between, as all vertebrates have vertebral column, right? But all chordates do not have vertebral cord. So this is the reason why all vertebrates are chordates, but not all chordates are vertebrates. Clear? Can come for give reason. Then vertebrates have ventral muscular heart. Excretion is by kidneys. They have fins or limbs for locomotion. Vertebrata is further classified into two divisions. One is agnatha or agnathostomata. That means these are without jaws. And then gnathostomata, which are having jaws. Now first let's take up about the agnatha. That is, it includes the most primitive type of vertebrates, which are without jaws. There is only one class of living vertebrate, that is cyclostomata. Cyclo means circular and stoma means mouth. So they are having a circular mouth. Okay. They have sucking circular mouth without jaws. Ectoparasites on some fishes. So they can act as ectoparasites on some fishes. Then they have got elongated body and 16 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration is present. And in this case, gill slits are without operculum. Operculum is a thin membrane that covers the gill slits. Okay, so here it is not present. Only skin is soft, then smooth, containing unicellular mucus gland. Skin is soft, it is smooth, and it contains the mucus glands. And mucus glands are unicellular. Okay, body is devoid of scales and paired fins. Only median fins are present. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Student, bone, it is hard. Okay, cartilaginous, it is soft. Clear? Digestive system lacks stomach. Heart is two-chambered, in which one is auricle and one is ventricle. And closed type of circulation is there, that is circulatory system. I told you what is open and closed type of circulatory system. That means in this closed type of circulatory system means what, student? That the blood is pumped in the blood vessels. Okay, they are marine but migrate to fresh water for spawning. Now such condition where the organism or the animal is marine, okay, but for spawning, laying the egg, it is coming in water. Which water? Fresh water. Okay, it is aquatic, but actually it lives in marine water. But for the formation of spawning, it comes into the fresh water. And after spawning, they expire, they die, right? And this condition, that is, they are in marine but but migrate to the spawning for spawning in fresh water. This condition is known as anadromous. Okay, it is known as anadromous. And then after spawning, the individual dies, the organism dies, but the larva undergoes metamorphosis and then return back to the ocean. Okay, so from marine, it goes to fresh water for spawning. After spawning, the animal dies and the larvae which develop, they undergo metamorphosis and then return back to the ocean, right? And again, for the next cycle, they come back to the fresh water for spawning, fine? Then gonads, their gonads means the reproductive organs, right? It is single and they are large without gonoduct. That means there is no duct in between, right? And fertilization is external. Example, petromyzon, that is lamprey, it is also known as lamprey, or myxin, it is also known as the hagfish. See here, this is petromyzon and this is the hagfish or myxin. Okay. Next, gnathostomata. Now, here they have small mouth aperture guarded by jaws. In agnatha, what we saw, it was without jaws, okay? And circular mouth was there, isn't it? Now here in case of gnathostomata, they are having the aperture which is guarded by the jaws and lips. Now plate-like teeth are firmly attached with the jaws. Gill slits are partially covered by operculum. We saw that gill slits did not have, or it was without operculum, but here it is covered with operculum, right? Anus and urinogenital aperture are separate. Naked skin in adults. Spiracle, that means the external, these are the external respiratory openings, is absent. Spiracles are absent. And what is spiracles? They are the respiratory opening which is present externally, right? Which is present outside. Then in addition to pelvic clasper, male possess another clasper on the head. Student, what is clasper? It is a appendage, okay, pair of appendage which helps to hold the female during copulation, right? It is further classified, that means gnathostomata is further classified into two types. One is Pisces, other one is tetrapoda. In Pisces, we will be studying about the chondrites and osteichthyes. Okay? And in tetrapoda, we will be studying about the class amphibia, reptilia, apes, and mammalia. So let's first understand some general characteristics of Pisces. They are found in fresh, they can be found in marine or in brackish water. Brackish water means it is the water which is intermediate between fresh and marine. That means it is having more salinity when compared to the fresh water, right? And less saline and less when compared to the marine water, right? So that is brackish water with more salinity. Yeah. Then body is streamlined. It may be spindle shaped. It can be elongated with head, trunk, and tail. Students, remember, we are studying the general characters of Pisces now. Okay, so mentioned in some Pisces it may be streamlined, in some it may be spindle shaped, or in some it may be elongated. And but they all have head, trunk, and tail. Yeah. Then they swim with the help of tail. Then paired and unpaired fins represent the appendages. These help the fish to balance while swimming. And cold-blooded. They are cold-blooded, that means poikilothermic. Cold-blooded is there and warm-blooded is there. So cold-blooded means poikilothermic, and if it is warm-blooded, then they are known as homothermic. Okay? In poikilothermic, the body temperature varies with the environment. Suppose whatever is the environment or the surrounding of the particular animal, their internal body temperature will change. Yeah? And in homothermic, what happens? The body temperature does not change. In the body temperature of the organism does not change, whatever may be the external surroundings or the external environment. So that is cold-blooded and warm-blooded. It may be herbivorous or it can be carnivorous. Then sexes are separate in this. Fertilization may be external or internal. Then digestive system is well developed in Pisces. Nervous system comprises of brain and 10 pairs of cranial nerves. Then heart is known as venous heart. Students, in Pisces, the heart is known as venous heart because it is always in that heart, only deoxygenated blood is there. Okay, so it is known as the venous heart. Now, the first type in Pisces, chondrites. These are also known as cartilaginous fish or cartilage fish. Their endoskeleton is made up of cartilage. The other type, osteichthyes, when we study, that is the bony fish. Then here it is cartilage fish. Clear? Now body is streamlined. Pelvic fin in male with claspers are present. 5 to 7 pairs of gills. No operculum. Then mouth is ventral with teeth. Jaws are powerful. Air bladder is absent. 2 pairs of lateral fins, that is pectoral and pelvic. Caudal fin. 2 pairs of lateral fins are present, that is pectoral and pelvic. And caudal fin is heterocercal, that means it is asymmetrical. The 2 lobes of the fin are not same, they are unequal, hence we call it as asymmetrical or heterocercal. Then heart is 2-chambered, 1 auricle and 1 ventricle. Some possess electric or poison stings. Then poikilothermus, they are, I told you the meaning of poikilothermus, that is cold-blooded, right? That means the body temperature changes according to the change in the surrounding temperatures. Then body has placoid scales. Now, what are these placoid? There are two types of scales, student, placoid and cycloid. Okay, now placoid scales, they are the base-like structures there. Okay, sorry, basal plates-like structure which originate directly from the fish skin, which is embedded, not originate, it is embedded in the fish skin. Whereas in cycloid, they are oval or circular shape and they are overlapping, they are arranged in an overlapping fashion. Okay, so in this case, that is chondritis, the body has placoid type of scales, right? And in osteoarthritis, it is having cycloid type of scales, right? And these scales, they represent the exoskeleton, right? Then they are unisexual, they are viviparous. There are two words, viviparous, oviparous, or oviviparous, or marsupials, right? So as it comes, I will tell you the meaning. Viviparous here means it gives birth to the young ones, right? Fertilization is internal. And examples are scoliodon, also known as dogfish, pristis, that is sawfish, then electric ray, common skate, hammer-headed shark. So these are the examples. You can remember any two and give when it is asked. Chondritis. Okay. Next, you see these examples of chondritis. Scoliodon, you can see this fish. Scoliodon, right? This is the stingrays. They are, see, stingrays, how it looks. Then these are the hammerhead. See here, the hammerhead shark. So I have chosen this example so that these unique characters I can tell you. Okay. Next, osteitis. In Pisces, the next class is osteitis. It is. Then these are bony fish, and I told you the other one, chondritis, they are the cartilaginous fish. Okay, students, you can be asked difference between cardiacis and osteitis. So these are the points of differences. That's why I'm comparing and telling you, right? Then bony fish, their endoskeleton is bone, right? There I told you it is cartilage fish, their endoskeleton is cartilage. Then here, skin is covered by cycloid scale. There it is covered by placoid state, right? Then present in both fresh and marine water. So this osteitis, they are present in fresh as well as in marine water. Then they are having 4 pair of gill slits with operculum. Mouth is terminal. Air bladder is present, which helps in buoyancy. Then heart is 2-chambered, 1 auricle and 1 ventricle. Poculotherms there, that means cold-blooded. So tail fin is homocircle. That means equal lobes are there, and hence it is known as symmetrical tail fin, right? Then sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. It is oviparous, that means producing young by hatching the eggs, right? Angelfish, then clownfish, rohu, katla, hippocampus. These are the different types of different examples of osteitis. Students, one thing I want to quote over here, that when you're asked the difference, there are some similarities also, like these are also cold-blooded and chondritis are also cold-blooded, isn't it? So you have to write the point of differences when you're asked the difference. Understood? Like here also heart is 2-chambered, there also it is 2-chambered. So these points you can't include. You have to include the points like the tail is heterocircle, here the tail is homocircle, right? Here, there it is cartilage fish, it is bony fish. So these types of differences you are supposed to mention when difference is asked. Please remember this. Now here are these examples here. Angelfish, see how it looks beautiful. This is the clownfish and this is the hippocampus. See here, it is also known as seahorse, right? Next, now let's come down to tetrapoda. We studied about Pisces, chondritis and osteitis. Now we will study about the tetrapoda, which includes 4 different types of classes. That means class amphibia, class reptilia, class aves, and class mammalia. So here tetra means 4 and podas means the feet. So 4 feet. Now in this, what happens to in this, those organisms are included which are having 4 limbs. Okay, 4 limbs they are having. And in case if they're not having 4 limbs, then they are originating or they have the ancestors which are having 4 limbs. Either they have or their ancestors will have. Okay, so such organisms are included in this tetrapodas. Let's understand each and every characteristic here. They include all living land vertebrates as well as some former land vertebrate that have since adopted an aquatic. This means were since adopted as an aquatic lifestyle. What does it mean? That they are actually land organisms. Okay, they're land vertebrate, but due to some reason or the other, they have adopted an aquatic life also. They have adapted an aquatic lifestyle. okay, such as like whales, dolphins, seals, sea lions, sea turtles, and sea snakes. These are all the aquatic type of tetrapods. Clear? Then several groups of tetrapods have also adopted an arboreal or aerial lifestyle. So they can be terrestrial, some are aquatic, some are arboreal or aerial lifestyle, like birds, bats, flying squirrels, and flying lemurs. Clear? So next point is, one of the key characteristics, I've told you that they have 4 limbs or they are having the ancestors with 4 limbs. Clear? Then next, they vary greatly in size. Yeah, this is very interesting, student. They vary in size. The smallest size is of 8 mm long. That means 8 millimeter long there. And that is the one, a type of frog known as pedophyline frog. Clear? And the largest one may be having the length of up to 30 meters. Example, the blue whale. Clear? So you can be asked 1 marks question. One answer in 1 sentence. You can be asked which is the smallest type of tetrapod or which is the largest. Clear? So please remember these names. Pedophyline frog, 8 mm long. If you just tell frog, you may not get marks, students, because frogs are of different sizes, right? And the largest is the blue whale, whose length is up to 30 meters. Clear? Then they occupy a wide variety of terrestrial habitats, including forest, grasslands, deserts, scrublands, mountains, and even the polar regions. Clear? So they include these 4 classes: amphibia, reptilia, aves, and mammalia. Now one by one we will take these 4. First one, class amphibia. It includes frog, toads, and salamander. You can see the diagrams over there, figures over here: frog, toad, newt, salamander, Sicilian. Now here, see the characteristics. They have dual life. That means what, student? That they can survive in land as well as they move to water for reproduction purpose. That is for breeding. Clear? Body has head and trunk. Then tail is in larval stage. 2 pairs of limbs are present. Digits are present without claws. Eyes are with nictitating membrane, because when they are in water, this nictitating membrane covers the eyes. Okay. And tympanum is the eardrum. So the tympanum works as an ear. You see, they don't have a pinna like we are having or other mammals are having, isn't it? They are having a membrane which works as a eardrum. Then heart is 3 chambered. See the evolutionary change now. From 2 chambered, it has come to 3 chambered now. Okay, so 2 auricles and 1 ventricle is present, and this heart is ventral in position. Skin is smooth and moist with mucous glands. Respiration is by gills in larvae and by lungs and skin in adults. So if it is by lungs, it is known as pulmonary. If it is by skin, it is known as cutaneous. Okay, I'm sorry that word was not coming immediately. Skin means skin, that means it is cutaneous. Then it is again poikilotherms animals, that means cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means what, students? That they can adjust with the temperature of the surroundings, right? Then urinary and reproductive tracts open into a common cloacal chamber. So common opening is there for urinary and reproductive tracts. Then, and the opening is called, and this cloacal chamber, the opening of this cloacal chamber is known as cloacal aperture. Then sexes are separate, they are oviparous, fertilization is external, and development is indirect through aquatic larval stage, that is the tadpole larva. Now here I showed you this, the different types of amphibians. Next comes the reptilia. Examples are snake, lizard, and crocodile. There are many examples, students. I have just quoted 2-3 for you people. Okay. Then skin is dry without glands, covered by horny epidermal scales. Tympanum is small, no external opening. Then 12 pairs of cranial nerves is seen. Then trunk bears 2 pairs of pentadactyl limbs with claws. Penta means 5. Okay. Like we are having 5 fingers, 5, isn't it? So that is pentadactyl limbs with claws. They are having claws. Penta means 5. Okay. Heart with 3.5 chambers. That now you see, first we had 2, then we had 3, and now here in reptilia it is 3.5. That means it is incompletely divided. Okay, it is incompletely divided. So we call it, ventricle is incompletely divided. So we call it as 3.5 chambered. right? That means two auricles and one which is incompletely partitioned ventricle. Yeah. Now only crocodiles have four-chambered heart. So in reptilians, only crocodile is the one which has four-chambered heart. Again, it has become the question of 1 mark, student. Name the reptilian with four-chambered heart. Clear? So what you will tell? Crocodiles. Clear? Next is respiration is by lungs here. Then fertilization is internal. Oviparasites, egg is covered by hard calcareous shell. Now these are the examples of reptiles. You can see the various. You remember any 2 or 3, that is more than sufficient. Of your choice, other than these also, there are many reptilians which you can quote the example as an example. Here, now come down to birds, that is class A's, right? Examples: pigeon, crow, sparrow, ostrich, peacock, many, turkey, many of them are there, right? Now here, the characteristics: streamlined bodies there, that means boat shape, which are covered with feathers. You can describe a bird very easily, student, isn't it? Fine. Jaws are modified into B. Teeth are absent. Beaks are of various sizes. It can be small, it can be big, it can be dome-shaped, it can be sharp, pointed, anyhow. So it is mentioned, the beaks are of various sizes and shapes. Digestive system has structures, special structure which is mentioned here, crop and gizzard for grinding the food. Then forelimbs are modified into wings. Hind limbs are modified for perching, swimming, running, etc. Then voice box called syrinx is present. Respiration is by lungs. Skin is dry with oil glands at the base of the tail. Pneumatic bones, that means pneumatic indicates for air passages, that is air cavities, which help to make the body lightweight, which makes the pneumatic bones are there. Okay, air sacs are there. Air sacs, we call it as air sacs. They help the body to be lightweight, which helps them in flying. Okay? Then homeotherms there. I hope you remember picilotherms I told you. That time itself I told you about the homeotherms, isn't it? Picilotherms, they can adjust their body temperature, but homeotherms, their temperature remains constant. Homo, word, remember, constant. Clear? So one, if you remember, the other is the opposite of it. Clear? Spelling should be correct. Then the heart is here is four-chambered heart. Students, we studied two-chambered. Okay. Then we studied three-chambered. Then we studied 3.5-chambered. That means incomplete, which is in case of reptiles. And in crocodiles, it is four-chambered. Only reptile that is. And now again here in aves, we see that all the aves, all the birds, they are having four-chambered heart. Clear? And fertilization is internal. Oviparous, egg is covered with calcareous shell. Now here are some examples of aves. You can take any example. I have just tried to pick up certain which are some slightly of different types, like crow, we know, pigeon, ostrich, kiwi, then sparrow, owl, peacock, parrot, right? So any example, 2 or 3 examples you can take. Then last class, that is mammalia, which we are also included in students. Okay, example, bat, rat, monkey, camel, human being, right? Then now these organisms that is who come under mammalia can be aquatic, they can be aerial, they can be terrestrial also. Like for example, aerial, bat is there, okay? Monkey, aerial, in aerial you can say about this bat, bat, monkey, etc. Okay, terrestrial, human beings are there, camel is there. And this thing, what you call it as this thing, dolphin, right? It is aquatic. Okay? Neck. Now, body has head, neck, trunk, and tail. External ear has pinna, that means pinna is present. Skin has sweat glands and sebaceous gland. Sebaceous gland means oil gland. Then heart is four-chambered and ventral in position. Respiration is by lungs. Brain is highly developed. Exoskeleton consists of hair, fur, nails, horns, etc. Excretion is by kidney. They secrete urea as an nitrogenous waste. Therefore, they are referred as ureotelic organisms or animals. Then they have mammary glands. In females, it is developed. It has developed type of mammary glands which are considered as the milk producing glands. Then sexes are separate. They may be viviparous. Viviparous means they give birth to young ones. Oviparous means egg laying animals. Example, platypus. Some are marsupials like kangaroo. That is, they are having pouch. Okay, that is known as the pouched mammals with brood pouches. Example, kangaroo. Now here are certain examples of mammals like elephant, kangaroo, cow, bat, rat, dolphin. Okay, so aquatic also have shown here. Terrestrial is also there, aerial is also there. Okay, so all types of mammals I have tried to mention over here. Clear? Students, by this we complete lesson number 4, that is kingdom Animalia. In this, just at a glance, I will tell you we studied non-chordates first, that is invertebrates, or chordates and vertebrates, and different classes, different divisions, different superclasses and different classes we have studied in this lesson completely. Okay, with all examples you have to mention. Please remember, when differences are asked, the point should be different. Okay, matlab, suppose in one it is present, in one it is absent. It will be this type, contrasting. Different means contrasting point should be there. When similarities are asked, you can include all the points. That's why I've given it 3 tabular form in the beginning itself. Clear? And whenever you write the difference, you must make 2 columns and write. Suppose in question paper, for example, I'm telling, if it comes chordates and non-chordates, please see that you write chordate in the first column and non-chordates in the second column. Some students, what they do, because we are studying like this only, first we study non-chordates and then we study chordate. So students with that intention only, what they do, they write non-chordates first and chordate. And when they start writing the actual answers, what they do, they change the answers, or they write chordates and they write in chordates as the question is asked. But because they have studied non-chordates first, so they start writing non-chordates ka point under chordate and chordates ka point under non-chordates. Okay, so please be careful, read the question paper properly and answer the questions. Clear? I stop here. If any doubts, any questions, you can contact me personally on my WhatsApp. Fine. Thank you. We'll meet in the next session. I stop here.